Hello class 8. Let us move with the syllabus. So far we have discussed about Gandhiji's movements during our freedom struggle. We have discussed about the non-cooperation movement. We have discussed about the protest against the Simon Commission. I have already explained about the second Gandhian movement, that was against the salt law. We call it civil disobedience movement, which was held in 1930. Civil disobedience movement had begun by Gandhiji on 6th April 1930, when he broke the salt tax or salt law while making or manufacturing salt from the sea water at the coastal village Dandi in Gujarat. Now, civil disobedience movement was fought by the Indian people spontaneously in every nook and corner. In the northwest frontier of our country, which right now it belongs to the country of Pakistan. During that time it was under the Indian dominion. So there Gandhiji's greatest follower, Abdul Ghaffar Khan, he led the civil disobedience movement over there with his followers, who were commonly known as the Red Shirts or Khudai Khidmatgar. So this Khudai Khidmatgar, they were actually religious minded people. So civil disobedience movement over there was basically religious nature, but in course of time it turned into a political movement, and it was held under the leadership of Frontier Gandhi, because he was the greatest follower of Gandhiji. That is why he was known as Frontier Gandhi, because northwest frontier, he belonged to that area and he led the freedom movement in that area. So he was known as the Frontier Gandhi, Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Similarly, this movement had taken so intense nature that from 6th April to 13th April, that 1 week came to be known as the National Week. And everywhere, be it northwestern part or the eastern part in Manipur, in Nagaland, everywhere people have participated in the civil disobedience movement. And the government had also taken very strict attitude towards the satyagrahis. There was no shortage of lathi charge, imprisonment to the satyagrahis. In the jails they were tortured severely. So it was quite ruthless. The government was very cruel towards the satyagrahis. So ultimately, seeing the intensity of the movement, the then Governor General Lord Irwin, he called upon Gandhiji to meet and discuss how to solve this problem and bring an end to the civil disobedience movement. Now, when Gandhiji and Lord Irwin had met on 5th March 1931 in Delhi, when they met together, that meeting came to be known as Gandhi-Irwin Pact or Delhi Pact. Now it was decided in this meeting between Gandhiji and Lord Irwin that the government would stop all kind of cruelty towards the satyagrahis. The political prisoners who were not involved in violent activities, they would be released. The properties which were destroyed, they were compensated properties would be compensated, and it was also agreed that there would be freedom to prepare the salt on their own. However, the young leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, they criticized Gandhiji that he had not asked for pardon from the Governor General for Bhagat Singh, Batukeshwar Datta, who were involved in the revolutionary activities and were arrested, and a case was being held, they were tried in the court. So Gandhiji was not able to bring justice for Bhagat Singh and the other revolutionaries, but Gandhi Arvind Pact was quite important because this pact, the British government had ultimately agreed to Gandhiji's demands. So, however, the revolutionary activities during the civil disobedience movement was going on at par with Gandhian movement. In 1930s, the revolutionary movements were going on. On one side, we see Bhagat Singh, Batukeshwar Datta, Sukhdev, Rajguru, and all these revolutionaries from western part of our country, from Punjab. They were trying to attract the government's British government's attention towards the demands of the Indian people. Whereas in the eastern part, we come across a very important revolutionary, we call commonly known as Master Da. He was Surya Sen. He was a teacher in Chittagong, which is presently in Bangladesh. Master Da Surya Sen had his followers, Prithilata Wadedar, Kalpana Datta, Loknath Ball, Anand Singh. They were participating in the revolutionary activities under the guidance of Master Da Surya Sen, and he led the civil disobedience movement. During the civil disobedience movement, he led the revolutionary activities, and the main activity of this group was Chittagong Armory raid. Chittagong Armory is the place where the arms and ammunitions are being kept, and these revolutionaries under the leadership of Prithilata Wadedar, they attacked the armory and looted the arms and ammunitions from there, killing the guards and the European officers. Now, Prithilata Wadedar, there was an exchange of fire between the police and the revolutionaries, in which Prithilata Wadedar, she was wounded, she was shot, she was wounded, and she fought very bravely, but in order to avoid her arrest, she ultimately shot herself, and it is said that she had taken the cyanide, the poison, which killed her instantly. She committed suicide because she did not want to be arrested by the British police. But she led the Chittagong Armory raid very successfully. She was also successful in the attack on the European club in Chittagong. So, Surya Sen, Master Da Surya Sen, he had formed the Indian Republican Army, where these revolutionaries, his followers, Loknath Ball, Ganesh Ghosh, Ambika Charan Chakraborty, Anand Singh, they were the followers, they were the members of the Indian Republican Army. And these revolutionaries, they took shelter in the Jalalabad hills in Chittagong, from where they fought with the British army, for 3 days. They fought very bravely, and Surya Sen was ultimately, he was captured and imprisoned, and then he was tried, and he was hanged on 12th January 1934. So Surya Sen, Master the Surya Sen's activities and his leadership and his followers' bravery and courage, these all inspired the Bengalis, not only the people of Bengals, but every person in the whole country. They were amazed to find the bravery and courage to fight against the foreign rule by these revolutionaries. Another important incident during this time occurred by the members of another revolutionary group, Bengal Volunteers. 3 revolutionaries from Bengal Volunteers, Binoy, Badal and Dinesh, who are commonly known as BBD, they went to Writers Building in Calcutta. Writers Building, which was the main office, administrative office, and there they shot the cruel and infamous English officers Lawson and Lohman and Hudson, and then they were famous. Binoy Krishna and he had already in Dhaka. Binoy Krishna had shot and killed Lohman and Hudson, and he came to Calcutta and joined with Badal Gupta and Dinesh Gupta, and they went to attack the Writers Building, where they shot the Colonel Simpson, the Inspector General of Prisons, and there was an encounter between the police and the revolutionaries in the corridors of the Writers Building, and in this encounter, 2 revolutionaries were killed, and one was injured, and he was later on he was tried, and then he was hanged to death. And this because it occurred in the corridors of the Writers Building, so this incident is famous as corridor warfare in Indian history. So this incident occurred on 8th December 1930. So all these revolutionary activities, they inspired the youths of India to fight against the British rule, and people were amazed to see there was no inhibition, no fear of the British police or army amongst these revolutionaries, and people were amazed to see their courage and bravery, and the youths were inspired by their activities, and they participated wholeheartedly against the British rule in the freedom movement.